if you're thinking of moving to Portland, Oregon, this video is about Beaverton.
Yeah, if you're thinking of moving to Portland, chances are you've heard of Beaverton. And today we're here in Progress Ridge, which is an area, this is a new shopping center surrounded by a lot of new construction homes. It feels very fitting that we're doing this video from Progress Ridge about what it's like to live in Beaverton, because it's a pretty easy lifestyle here.
If this might seem appealing to you, check out this video. So we're here right outside the movie theater in Progress Ridge. It's a little shopping center, well, big shopping center.
Beaverton is a suburb, so it's got a more suburban feel, a lot of subdivisions, shopping centers like this one. There's less of a main core. There is an old town to Beaverton, but I would say, it doesn't have a city feel with a true hub to it. It's more of a spread out suburb. It's also a bigger suburb of Portland, so there's over 100,000 people here. And so you have all the amenities of really a small town suburb with Portland really right next door.
Yeah, a lot of people from Beaverton commute to Portland for their jobs. There's also, the Nike World Headquarters is right here, and you have a lot of other tech companies. We're right in what they call the Silicon Forest here.
This is some advanced filming walking down the stairs. Yeah, we're right here in the Silicon Forest. So also next door to Beaverton is Hillsboro, which is Intel's world headquarters.
Yep.
Aaron mentioned Nike, Adidas, the US Bank headquarters are here. There's a lot of jobs here in Beaverton, and that's one of the main draws for people here. It's a pretty quintessential American suburb. So here we are in a shopping center. The shopping center's got a New Seasons market, which if you are not a Portland local, it's a great local grocery store chain. I would say, kind of similar to Whole Foods, but with a more local feeling, very high quality. There's also La Provence, which is a local French bakery and cafe. There are several sprinkled throughout Portland.
Yep.
And then
we have one in Lake Oswego where we live. We go there all the time. And the New Seasons, is that what they're putting in Lake Oswego too?
Yep.
Yeah, we're also getting a New Seasons, which we're excited about. That's almost walking distance to our house.
Yeah, I think walking that you just mentioned is a great point. So, there's some new construction around this shopping center, and there are some commercial pockets in Beaverton for sure, but there's also a lot of big residential areas. And so I wouldn't call this a super walkable town.
No, yeah, it's definitely not a high walkable score. You will though have, chances are you'll probably have a local park that's walking distance, sidewalks through the neighborhoods, very kid-friendly, family-friendly. In that regard, for being safe neighborhoods, lower crime rate, Beaverton's a great option because the neighborhoods aren't super high walking rating score. You do need to drive, you need a car, but they do have a light rail system, some good options if you need to commute to downtown.
Yeah, it's the busiest public transportation hub actually in the Portland metro.
It's in Beaverton.
There's some kids going through the splash pad over here. So Beaverton is family friendly. One of the main reasons for that is that it has great schools. So the school district here is ranked in the top 93% in the state. It has two really world-class high schools that are focused on STEM. And that is very representative of Beaverton. It's a high-tech hub. There's a lot of investment in tech here, and so it makes sense that educationally they're making big investments in tech education.
Yeah, when I think Beaverton, I definitely think Silicon Forest, tech jobs, Nike.
So one thing about living in Beaverton, and this is really similar to all of Portland, is just being in the great outdoors. So, Portland is very outdoorsy. There are so many opportunities to get outside, be in a park, ride bikes, be on the water. So, you're close to the Columbia River. Beaverton is on the west side of Portland, which means you're that much closer to the Oregon coast, those beautiful beaches. We're actually going to the beach next weekend to celebrate the end of the school year.
Yes, looking forward to that.
People in Portland and Beaverton love to get over to the coast. And then there are the parks. So close to Beaverton is Washington Square Park, which is where the zoo, the Japanese botanical gardens are. And so just a lot of opportunity to be outside. Although, if you want to be outside year round, you got to be prepared for that winter weather.
Yes. It does rain here and it does get cold. Not a lot of snow, but check out the weather. It's one thing if you're moving to Portland, make sure you love having 4 seasons, although they are more mild.
I love having 4 seasons. I feel like it makes time, it really marks time in a really fun way. It makes the seasons more festive. But I borrowed a saying from a friend that I have who's Swedish, and you know, Sweden has some serious weather, and they say there's no bad weather as long as you have the right clothes. That's not the right saying, but it's something like that.
Yes. I think I remember you saying something like that. So here we are actually going down. There's a bunch of series of little fountains here that kind of cascade down into this man-made reservoir here at Progress Ridge. So I'll talk up a little bit so make sure you can hear me over the water. But this is like a really cool feature here in Beaverton. They stock it full of fish, so you know, kids can come down here and go fishing. You know,
Erin's trying to talk our 4-year-old daughter into being into fishing. I think she's got ways to go to have the attention span.
Her curiosity is definitely piqued. I just want to bring her more, you know, into the outdoors. She's real into princess dresses right now and lays out her clothes every night. Everything's got to be pink or some pink in it.
He thought he was going to have like
great.
a tomboy.
Which is great. She was a tomboy at the beginning, but I think she does like being outside. So that's one of the things that we love about Oregon, and what's great about Beaverton as well. You know, I mean, check this out behind us. I mean, you have things like this, you know, right here in your neighborhood where you can just get away from it, the city, the hustle and bustle, you know, or even just your neighborhood, and just come for this little walk around, you know, this reservoir. We're right here in this little tranquil spot, and you have these all through Portland, and Beaverton has its fair share as well.
Yeah, it is very peaceful, and these like park settings give you a really grounded, just like healthy feeling to be able to get out for a walk in all this greenery. There's like wildflowers blooming right now. We're in the middle of June.
There's some and just having it minutes away versus, you know, traveling, you know, 30 minutes to an hour away, which you can go to more of the wilderness within, you know, 30 minutes, an hour. But you can also have these cool little parks and public spaces where you can get that feeling just a few minutes from your house. So let's talk about a little bit about how Beaverton is a little bit different than some of the neighborhoods in Portland.
Yeah, I think, you know, when I think of Portland, I think of some of the neighborhoods in the Northwest and the east side of town that have a really like iconic Portland neighborhood feeling with a main street, coffee shops, bars, restaurants, a really neighborhood core. And Beaverton is much more of a suburb. And so you just have to know what you're looking for. I would say the lifestyle out here is easier in terms of like, you know, you're not fighting for a parking spot. It's easy to get to what you need, but you're missing some of that city buzz. And again, walkability, high quality, like dining, coffee, shopping is really going to be more in your Portland neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's right. And just to talk a little bit about the housing prices here in Beaverton, what you might expect. The housing stock was really built from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And then we do have in the southwest portion is mainly the 2000s housing stock, late 90s, and then there's some new construction area where they are building actually hundreds of new houses, construction houses. So if that's something you're looking for, definitely reach out to me and we can check out some of those areas. The housing stock in general in Portland is older. There's not a ton of new construction if you're comparing it to somewhere like Hillsborough, which is the next suburb to the west of us, or Aloha. But there's some opportunity there as well for that older housing stock, the 60s, 70s, 80s, if you want to do some renovation, put some, you know, elbow grease into it and get some and build some equity that way.
What are the prices like in Beaverton?
So the prices really start in the 400s, high 400s. but the majority of your housing stock is really going to be around that median average, maybe a little bit higher. Right now it's around 570 for the median Portland metro price, and for Beaverton your average is going to be in that 600,000 range.
So it really is right there in the middle for the Portland metro.
Yeah.
Very representative.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get a good bang for your buck compared to if you want to live in Portland, closer to the city, for the size of the house, the newer type of house. And if you want a yard, Beaverton's a great option for that suburb feel, a little bit easier feeling like you were talking about.
More value home. And then when you add on the schools out here compared to, some of the schools in Portland,
yeah.
I can see why to a family it's very appealing. Close to employers, close to high quality jobs,
yeah,
higher paying
right.
jobs, better schools, more space. So it is really a trade-off. You have to really know what you're looking for.
That's right. Yeah, and if you want to explore in more detail some of the different neighborhoods in Beaverton, go ahead and reach out to me. Give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to go over some of those different areas with you.
There are a couple of neighborhoods in the northwest part of Beaverton that are really considered some of the best places to live in Oregon.
Yeah.
I think Five Crowns, Triple Creek, some of those neighborhoods. I think the best thing to do is really to come for a visit, tour some homes, get a sense of this is the right area for you. And then Aaron can also talk about some other suburbs that compete right up there with Beaverton for some of those same amenities in terms of family lifestyle, schools, location, what you're getting in each area.
Yeah.
The sun is coming out.
Yay. Yeah, I really like Beaverton. It's definitely in the top 5 best suburbs to live in for Portland. So if you're looking for that suburb, definitely put Beaverton in the top there for all those reasons. The school, you're close to the shopping to downtown, you're close to nature.
Close to the beach.
It's great schools, family friendly.
Speaking of families, we got to hit New Seasons on our way home because our kids are starting to really go through milk.
Yes. Yes, we finally hit that phase. We have a 1.5-year-old and a 4.5-year-old where our kids are going through tons of milk. And if I want any milk for my cereal, we better get new milk and eggs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get some of the necessities right here at the New Seasons. All right, this is what it's like to live in Beaverton, Oregon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, give me a call or shoot me an email. Information's right down there in the description. See you on the next one.